is key to me that is like, you know, Jay-Z's Jay-Z. He's built these relationships. He's this, you know, mogul. He's this star. He's the dude in hip-hop.
Got his hands in everything.
And he got enough juice or pull to get this morning show host fired.
Yep.
It takes me back to the LeBron situation. Like, LeBron is really this guy in the NBA, not just on the court. I mean, because we got stars. Steph Curry's a star, you know. Westbrook's a star. You know, but and a lot of people doing their thing. But LeBron James, you know, not just for his play on the court, but for what he does on the, you know, off the court, is real live, like, the dude.
LeBron has officially, with this title, taken back the face of the NBA. He's taking that back.
Well, let me say this. For those who forgot who the best player in the NBA was, he reminded us.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt about it.
I'll say that.
40-plus points in Game 5, 40-plus points in Game 6.
I'll say that. And you know, for what it's worth, because I ain't gonna fake like I wasn't a part of the group that was like, I don't know about LeBron. Like, I mean, I never doubted he was the best player. Well, I have in the past year, but I never really doubted how good he was. It was just more about you not doing it. Like, you should be winning titles. You shouldn't be just going. You should be winning titles.
You shouldn't be 3 and 4, even though it's better than being 2 and 5. But still,
you should be winning. You should be winning titles.
Yeah, and
he, you know, he wasn't. But again, it was just interesting to me. You know, it's no coincidence that of Jay-Z and LeBron's relationship. It's no coincidence. It seems like he's learning so much from, in a business aspect, from Jay-Z and how to run things.
From one of the best.
Because the strings are being pulled. You're not, again, everybody in make underworlds of, you know, the radio industry believe Jay-Z got Charlamagne fired. Just like everybody with an opinion pretty much thinks that LeBron got Draymond suspended.
Oh yeah,
so
no question about it.
It's just key. It's just key. But that aside, man, LeBron, I mean, you know, 41 points in games 5 and 6. Leading statistically in every
category.
Yeah,
leading both teams.
Both teams. You can't really.
And I got to shout out Kyrie also, because he showed up big time in, what was that, Game 6 at home there.
And Game 7,
the big shot.
26 and 6, which ain't a bad game. And
that three.
That shot. And consistently throughout this series being the guy who, when everybody else didn't seem like they was being engaged, even if he was shooting terrible shots, he seemed to be the only person that was really engaged in times when nobody else was really engaged.
Game 4 where he was just shooting up ducks, but you saw the aggression in him that, hey, look, if nobody else is going to do it, let me do it. So, yeah, much props to Kyrie, man. This title, though, for LeBron, in my eyes, out of the 3 that he has already, this has to be the sweetest one.
Yeah,
no question about it, for a few reasons. One, because it's for Cleveland. Cleveland's been without a title in pro sports for 52 years. So you got that. Secondly, LeBron, while he had Kyrie, he somewhat had Kevin Love. While he had those two guys, he legitimately won this one by himself. And what I mean by that is that he didn't have to have another superstar that already won a title help him win it. Well, like the 2 titles in Miami.
I get what you're saying.
It's Dwayne Wade was
as far as championship experience.
As far as the pedigree.
I don't want to say he did this by himself. You know, like when you think about Michael Jordan, and I know we're not supposed to be drawing these comparisons, but I'm just thinking about in terms of a team, or even Kobe Bryant with the Pau Gasol teams.
Right.
You know, it was.
And don't get me wrong,
Kyrie Irving my point is Kyrie Irving is a legitimate star. Yes, I don't know if we could say the same about Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol was a good player.
I think he became better when he got to Los Angeles.
I think once he won the ring, then they were, you know, kind of exalting him because that he was a part of the team that won the ring. But I wouldn't have necessarily called Pau Gasol for lack of a better term, help when Kobe won that ring.
Right.
Scottie Pippen, yeah, he was help. Scottie Pippen was help. So
Yeah.
in terms,
don't get me wrong. LeBron had help. I'm just saying that he didn't.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about from experience.
He went to a team, a young team at the time in Cleveland, no experience.
Yeah.
Took him to the finals the first year.
Yeah.
Didn't get it done, but went back the second year this time around and got it done. It's one of the reasons why I believe, and many people believe, that this is the sweetest title that LeBron has up to this date.
Well, I want to shout out Kevin Love in Game 7 and in Game 6. Because while he wasn't scoring, he was there in key moments in Game 6 and 7, and particularly Game 7, where he
14 rebounds.
Well, he locked down Steph Curry.
Yes.
In that key possession in the fourth quarter.
Yes, he did.
And
he stuck with him.
Yeah, he pressed him like he was like, when you think about when you saw that, I mean, I don't know what you were thinking, but when I saw that, like Kevin Love, however it happened,
right.
Kevin Love ended up on Steph Curry and they needed a shot to go in.
Yep.
I thought this was Cancer Christmas.
Like,
Steph Curry, there's no way Kevin Love. There's no way Kevin Love is going to hang with Steph Curry. And he hung with him as if this championship depended on him. And damned if he didn't do it. And while I'm shouting on Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson has been doing that consistently throughout spurts of his entire series. So I definitely want to shout Tristan Thompson because he was doing he did his norm. You know, he double doubles. You know, he was doing what he do. But it was in these switching situations where Tristan Thompson, I don't need the help. Let me guard him. And he was real live in a lot of the situations, shutting Steph Curry down.
Yeah.
So shout out to Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson, because that means something. If you don't have to put Shumpert or somebody else on them in these switching situations. Mm-hmm. You really helping the Cavs. Like the Cavs, they really
yeah, they didn't do a lot of rotating on defense, particularly in that fourth quarter.
They did. They switched. I mean, it was done purposefully. It was done like I noticed it from Game 4 on that they were intentionally making these switches and having so they could stay with stay with him and keep a body on him.
No doubt.
Anytime he ran a screen or something, J.R. Smith would bump him. Somebody would bump him.
Right.
He would. It wasn't a moment where a body wasn't around him.
Right.
And that was a lot of.
How about J.R. Smith, man? I mean, he didn't do great in Game 7. I mean, particularly throughout this entire series, he wasn't great.
He had a 20-point game in Game 3, I think it was.
Okay.
And I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think he had a good series. I mean, I think he had some key threes, but I think
that's what it was. Go back to Game 7. Go back coming out of halftime, and the Warriors, I think, went up by like 8 points early in the third quarter. JR knocks down 2 threes, cuts the deficit to 2, and it forced Steve Kerr to call a timeout after that because the game, while it didn't get out of hand, he noticed that, okay, something's not right here. You're listening to Trey and Maestro on the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. The Warriors. Look, man, I got to keep it 100 on this one, man. Steph Curry stunk it up this series.
Steph Curry and the Splash Brothers stunk it up in this series.
I mean, you can tell me the Draymond suspension is what changed everything. You could tell me that Andrew Bogut's
I still think that was the case. Let me make this very clear. The Splash Brothers didn't play a good game all series. They didn't play one good game all series, and they were up 3-1.
And you can make a case that game one, that the bench won for them, they probably should have lost that one if it wasn't for the bench.
They didn't play a good game all series of Splash Brothers, and they were up 3-1. So, for my money, I'm not saying, yes I am, I'm saying that had Draymond Green not been suspended, the Warriors would have won this series. That's what I'm saying. That's my opinion. I'm not saying I'm not trying to take nothing from the Cavaliers, even though I do realize that's what I'm ultimately doing.
Right.
But I don't think they win this series if Draymond. They went in that game 4 in Cleveland 3-1, and it was and that was that was the hardest fought game up until game 7.
Right.
Like, that was the game. That was, in my mind, that was the nail in the coffin. And had he not been suspended, I think he knew that was the nail in the coffin. I think the Golden State Warriors knew that was the nail in the coffin.
Man, it's hard to say so when you have 3 opportunities to get the trophy, man. It's just hard to say that. I'll tell you this much, though.
Well, but
I think that, because LeBron and Kyrie had 40-plus in Game 5?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think that would have happened if Draymond was there.
I definitely don't think that would have happened. And I also don't think... See, what that did... In my opinion, what that did that threw the rhythm. That threw Draymond's rhythm off.
Absolutely.
And that's why the team rhythm off.
And that's why I said in Game 6 when he was starting at center, because Bogut got hurt, he kind of was playing a little bit like passive, like I better not do. Because look, you play the center position, you got to be throwing elbows, you got to be all over the place in the paint, you got to be physical. Yeah. And he just did not play physical at all in Game 6. He was very tentative, like he didn't want to get another suspension for Game 7.
Right.
So, we can talk about all these other things. Yes, Harrison Barnes and bro, he's getting out of here.
Well, he was leaving regardless.
Yeah, but he cost himself some money with the performance.
He definitely did.
Cost himself a lot of money, man.
He definitely did. But but he was gone anyway. A lot of people were suspecting, and that doesn't. With the whole talks that came out this week about Dirk Nowitzki, them going after Dirk Nowitzki, and them also making Kevin Durant their top priority, that doesn't that just further says that Harrison Barnes is about to
no
be
doubt.
up out of there.
Yeah.
So
even if he had the performance, I still think he would have.
Well, yeah, he's gone. Yeah. I think it's been well documented.
He's replaceable. In my eyes, in many people's eyes,
he's replaceable, especially if you get Kevin Durant. So
yeah, for real,
for
real. Which I don't believe is going to happen. I'd be shocked if the Warriors somehow land him.
I wouldn't be that shocked.
I'd be shocked
because here's the thing: how much is Curry making? How much?
I don't know. I mean, he's underpaid. He's underpaid. That's for sure.
Right, he's underpaid, and I think that's the same case with Klay. I believe he's being underpaid too.
It is.
They got a young team. I think Draymond might not.
Draymond just got a contract.
Okay, he did just get a contract.
Yep.
Okay. So you got the Splash Brothers are underpaid. You gonna pay? I mean, the only real problem I have with that is that if you bring in Durant when it's time to pay the Splash Brothers,
one of them got to
go.
Yeah.
But I mean, first of all, we would know who'd be going. Unless there was injuries involved, we know who's going.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but that wouldn't even be a bad tandem either. Whether if it's Curry and Durant, or truthfully, if it's Thompson and Durant, that's not a bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have.
Yeah,
it's just that I'm just looking at it from Kevin Durant's perspective, and I'm saying to myself, I don't want to go to a team that's got the title. I don't want to go to a team that came back down from 3-1. I want to go someplace where, I could, form my own team. I could win it on my own. Well, not my own, but I could be the star. I could do this. And you know what else is interesting about Durant? I don't think he's all about the marketing, the how much money I can make, and all that stuff.
Not.
I don't think he's all about that. I think he's just a guy that just wants to play basketball.
Right, and I get that. So, in this scheme, he could just go out and play basketball. It's not going to be all on him.
Right. Like, you don't have to go to a big market like New York or L.A.
He can go to Golden State and just play basketball. And not only just play basketball, but play basketball with the likes of Draymond Green.
Right.
He doesn't have that in Oklahoma City.
Or he could stay in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think at this point, I don't know how you feel. I still think he's staying in Oklahoma City.
I think if he does stay, he's going to sign like a 2-year deal with like an option for the second year. Because remember, the cap is supposed to increase the next couple years. So maybe if he signs
the cap was increasing this year. after this season.
But I think it's increasing twice.
Oh, okay.
I mean, correct me on it if I'm wrong, but I thought it's supposed to increase twice.
Okay.
That's why these guys